There we go. She's going to be talking us through how to build your own tech news TLDR app. She's a GDE cloud expert, and there's a lot. She's an expert in a lot of things, and she does a lot of things. There's a lot of words there, but cool. Yeah, without anything else, yeah, welcome, Lovee.
Yeah, cool. Sorry. You have some issues. Okay, sorry. My bad. Okay, finally. Alrighty, hello everyone. How's everyone going? Good, great. I guess everybody loved what Leong shared. I think that sets us a very good stage for the whole workshop and get into the hands-on mode, hopefully. Okay, cool. So do you know what I mean when I say a TLDR app? Does anybody understand what it is? Has anybody seen those? Yeah. So they are basically like a news summary that you get on your email. That's it. So that's what we are going to do. So what we are going to do is we are going to basically use Google search as a grounding tool, or a tool that Leong was showing to us. And we will get the latest response of the news. And then we are going to automate it so that it sends you every day a news summary on your email. So that's what we are going to do tonight. Everyone understand what we are going to do tonight? Okay, yay, let's get started then. So if you have not already done this, this is the last time I'm showing it. 3, 2, 1, you're going to lose the chance now, okay? So redeem your cloud credits, and if you have any problem redeeming them, we have people here who can help you. Do not use your work account. Do not use non-Gmail account. And I think that's it. Yes?
Is it going to be again if I did it last week?
Yeah, you can do another $5. Why not? Yeah, come to every workshop, get 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Okay, you'll be a millionaire soon. Okay, so what it will do is it will take you to a URL like this, and then what you do is you just sign in with Google, and then you basically select your account, continue, and then it will tell you to click here and access your credits. Once you have done that, clicked on the button, it will ask you some more information. Provide that, accept and continue, and then you should basically have it working. In like 99% cases, it does work straight away. If it doesn't, raise your hands and someone will come and help you. Yes, please. It didn't work for you? We have people who will help you. And if you always want to check where you can find those credits, you need to go to billing, and somewhere down you would see credits, and then where you can see all your credits there. So this is just the setup. Because we are short on time and we have a lot of content to cover, I am going to move forward. If you have issues redeeming credits, raise your hand. Someone will be there to help you. Okay. All right, so this is the workshop that we are going to do tonight. And you can just scan this or just visit this, and it should take you to the actual workshop. Everybody got the URL? Got to the workshop? Okay, so let's go to the workshop. How many people are still struggling with the credits? You just have 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry, yes, which one? Previous one? The workshop? Yeah. Who else needs help with the credits? Sorry, can you raise your hands again? Okay, you need, there's people who need help. Yes. Is it the right link?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Kunal, we have someone here who also needs help. Okay. In interest of time, I would have to move forward with the workshop. So while people are setting up credits, well, let's do one thing. Let's understand what the space is all about, and let's get a feel. So basically, it's an evolving space, so it's a disclaimer. So whatever you see today, it might change tomorrow. Like really, it's changing that fast. So when I created this workshop, I actually used 1.5 Pro or Flash model, but then it's been deprecated and new models have been introduced. The way to use Google search for grounding with those models is different. Then there was a Gemini SDK. So okay, I have a question for you guys. How many of you know what is the difference between Gemini and Vertex AI?
Gemini is an LLM, and Vertex AI is basically a service, just like an Azure AI search service.
Yeah, you can say. So basically, you can use both Gemini API and Vertex AI APIs for your AI workloads or whatever you are trying to develop. But the main difference is with Gemini APIs, it's for developers who, like individual developers who would like to just use an API key and get, working with stuff. And with Vertex AI, it is more like an enterprisey tool. So what you want to do is you would need your like a business account and things, and then you have more options to play around with. However, so when it was all introduced, they started with the Gemini SDK, Gemini API SDK. It was a separate one. Vertex AI SDK, it was a separate one. And now they have introduced another package or an SDK, which is called as Gen AI SDK, which we are going to use tonight in the workshop, which you can use to run both Gemini and Vertex AI together in one single SDK. So if you have like questions or doubts about how each of these things work, I've got the code, and this is the lab. This is like literally the GitHub code here, and I've got the different implementations with different models and different packages in different branches. So feel free to check it out later on. So, all right. So the next thing that we are going to do is get started with the AI Studio. How many of you here have used AI Studio? Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? So for those who have not, let's see the magic of AI Studio today. Before we do that, let's actually look at what's going on really. So Google AI Studio offers you like a playground. It's a sandbox kind of a thing where you just play around with whatever ideas you have. Like you can just ask it anything in the chat box. It would give you the replies. And you can have multiple settings here. For example, temperature, as Leong said. If you increase the temperature, you get more creative responses. If you reduce the temperature, it is much more factual-based response. Then you have new thing, that is your thinking mode. So with thinking mode, it will tell you how it is arriving to a solution. And you can even set like a budget. How many tokens do you want it to use for that thinking process? Next, you have tools. Now, as Leong was telling, that these models were trained on historical data, but they need current information or any relevant source of data, right? So tools are a way to provide that information. Now with tools, you have structured output. So if you want it to be like a JSON output every time, you can mention it. You can use it and then do it. If you want it to execute a piece of code, then you just enable that. If you want to call an external function or an API to get the response and then convert it and send it back to your user in a very natural language, that's when you use function calling. And tonight for the workshop, we will be using grounding with Google Search. That means get some real-time actual data like from Google Search in our responses. And then URL context, this was announced just last night at the I/O event. So it's actually pretty cool. I tried it today. So let's actually get into the demo for this one. It actually has one more, oh, sorry, I forgot about the advanced settings. We have safety settings, so you can always adjust those. And then you can add a stop sequence, and then there is top P and top K. Those are the terms that are used for more probability settings, which I'm not an expert to talk about. So I'd rather leave that, and on Gemini, just Gemini what it does. OK, so the main feature I want to show you today is this compare mode. So what we are comparing today is using, so this one is going to be the normal one. But here, I am going to turn on grounding with Google Search. OK? So the first thing I would search is, who is the president of US? Let's see. Joe Biden. Without Google Search, it's telling you it's Joe Biden. But with Google Search, it is able to tell you who is the current president, and it is able to tell you all the sources. It now knows who is the current president, right? So you want the current information. Now let's actually play around, because I was very impressed by the URL context thing, and I just tried it, so I'll showcase it. So if I just do, tell me more about this website, maybe tldr.lovee.dev. Let's see what it does. Actually, hang on. Yeah, it should work. It should work, hopefully. It's demo time. OK, look at this response. It is trying to break down the domain name and guess the response, what it would be. But this one, with the new URL context feature, it is actually visiting the website. If you would look at this thinking, you would know it was visiting the website. It was actually going to that. And then it was able to tell what is happening or what that page or content is all about. So this is a very powerful and a new tool, recently released. So I'm very impressed with that one. Anyway, so for tonight's workshop, so you saw the power of grounding with Google Search, and that's what we are going to use tonight. Before I move forward, I'll actually show you something more that you can play around with and get a lot of help. This is like really cool feature, and I definitely would tell you to try. So you can actually stream data. So you can actually stream, you can share your screen and ask it real time what's going on and get understanding of anything that's there. So let's actually try this. It's so hard to adjust the screen. Oops.
What would you like to talk about next?
I think I broke this.
It sounds like something might be broken. Can you tell me what happened?
I cannot connect to my screen.
Okay, so it sounds like you're having trouble connecting to your screen. Is this a computer screen, a projector screen, or something else?
What is it? You tell me.
Okay, from what I see, it looks like you are pointing at a projector screen. Does that sound right?
You're damn right.
So you are trying to connect to a...
Okay, enough. Okay, so feel free to try this in your own time. It's really cool. It's very easy to talk to it, and then you can share your screens. I've tried that. It's very, very cool. It's able to actually spot bugs as well. So yes, definitely try that. Okay, enough of playing. Now let's get to the actual workshop, what we are here for. So the first thing would be, oh, I forgot about telling you about the system instructions. So let me go back to the chat and tell you about system instructions. System instructions are like, you want to tell it how you want your response to look like. So for example, you're writing an email or a message, but maybe you want like a friendly tone. Just mention it in your system instruction. So that actually helps you setting like that context kind of a thing, and it's very handy. And that's what we are going to use today. So if you look at, so I'm going to go through the workshop with you. If you are able to move to the next steps, feel free to, or you can continue with me. And if anybody gets stuck, please raise your hand and I'll try, we can solve your issues. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I want it to tell me latest tech news in the past 24 hours. Okay, and what I want to do is, what I want to do is use this as my system instruction. And what it is about, I want it to act as an expert news reporter who can curate content and provide a brief, to-the-point response in Australian slang. I don't want long paragraphs, just some bullet points with summary. So I tell it what needs to be done, and then I give it a prompt. Let's do that. Oh, I forgot the grounding. Uh-oh. Let's refresh. And, oh, not here. Grounding with Google search. By the way, you can choose any models you like from here. So we are just continuing with the Flash. And the prompt was latest tech news in past 24 hours. Okay, let's run this. I need to turn off thinking. It takes a lot of time thinking. Anyway, so it has used these sources and given me this summary. So yeah, pretty good. You should try running if you like. But anyway, we are going to be running it very soon. So if you are trying to play around with your prompts and things, and if you need to just directly put it into code, the easiest and the quickest way is to get code straight away from here. Earlier, it used to give you options with Python, Node, and other things, but this time it has changed. Oh, wow, these are new. These are like literally just last night. I did not know that. Yesterday, yes. So see, it's changing. It's continuously evolving. So I'll continue with TypeScript. And so what I have got here is it's importing the package, and then it's running a function, instantiating like the model and things, and providing it a tool and some configuration. It has got system instructions in there. We are using a model. And then it has a lot more content, like so role and parts is mainly for, role is for who is actually talking. Is it the Gemini, or is it yourself? And parts is used to describe the type of content that you're getting, because these APIs have become multimodal. Or that means, when I say multimodal, that means it can support any kind of content, not just text, images, video, audio, whatever, right? So, and then it just asks it, and basically you can just copy and run it. But we are going to do it better because we need a little bit more customization. So just remember what's happening. You don't have to copy it. I will highlight the parts soon. Let's get into it, and let's go to the next step. So what we are going to do, the next step is we are going to create a basic Express API, like the most basic thing you can do. So for that, I am going to ask you to go to your Cloud Console. Once everyone is on the Cloud Console, they can actually click on this button, which would activate the Cloud Shell. Now, with this Cloud Shell, you don't really have to have any code editor in your local. By the way, it's going to ask you to authorize, just authorize, and it would start it. So it's like a proper terminal. And then you can even use Open Editor, which we will do after doing some things. And you can actually have the whole code editor there to get it working. So let's go back to the workshop, and let me know if you all guys have already authorized the Cloud Shell. Everybody got it working? OK, cool. So what I'm doing is I'm creating a new directory. I go into that new directory, just do an npm init, and create an index.js. So copy and paste. Done. Yes? Oh, I can do that in the settings. Largest. Oh, OK. Can I do that now?
Now you can go to 100%.
Yeah.
Command 0.
OK. Actually, this is better. OK. So we have done that. And once we have done that, we can actually go back to the Open Editor, and it will just connect you to a Cloud Shell editor, which is like a VS Code or something like that. So just it would have your project there called News Curator. Go into that News Curator, and then you will find an index.js. So what we are going to do in this is we are just going to copy paste this code. Now what it does, let's have a look. It's a very basic thing. Like, it does very basic stuff. What it does is, I can't even copy correctly. Oh my god. Did I? OK, it's working. Do I need font change? Font size change? Shall I? Is it visible, font, up into the back? Can you see the screen properly? OK, cool. I would not zoom in. Or maybe I'll do it once. OK, we are just importing Express from Express, .in from .in. Like, it's like the basic thing that you can do to create an Express API. You create your listener, and then finally, you've got the endpoint. It's like at the root. And then what you do is create a .in file. So I'll go here, and create a .in file. Now what I want you to do is not close the .in file. Yes?
Index.js shouldn't be a problem, but you're missing a semicolon.
Huh?
You're missing a semicolon.
Yes. .in file, do not close the .in file, because it's a hidden file, and when it gets hidden, then you have to go to settings and try to find it, and we don't want to waste time. So let's not do that. Keep it open, OK? So where we were. OK, we are going to get the port. If anybody has any doubts on this, just ask, because it's like a very basic thing. Yes, please. It's just a new file. I just go here on the folder, and then just do plus, yeah.
Can I create a new one? Like, 'cause I think I closed it and I can't find it.
Gemini, how to find it and find it. It won't let you create one. Okay. So going back to the lab. Yes, so we are going to add some scripts. Let's see what these are. So go to your package.json, and in the scripts, just replace it, basically. And you would see the error is coming with the type. It is because it was already using common.js. It's like and if I want to use modules because I want to use import statements. I find it more visually appealing and satisfying. Yes, so I just do that. So remove the common.js module type and instead use module. Makes life easier. And then we would go back to the terminal and install all the packages. Oh, by the way, in the scripts, what I have done is I've got a start script. I've got a dev test is just there. I'm using node.mon so that I have hot reloading and things. So it's very standard. If anybody has any questions, let me know. Nothing complicated here. Okay, let's go back to the terminal and install these. Going back, you would have an updated package.json, and then finally npm run dev. And it started. So what you can do is starting at port 8080, and if you want to see how it looks, what does it tell you? Does it tell you hello world or not? Does it greet you well or not? Go to preview on port 8080. And it says hello world. So is everybody done until this step? It was very basic. No? Where are you stuck?
Where do you put the npm install scripts?
Go back to the terminal.
Oh.
Yes. Everybody got this working? npm run dev. You can find everything in the code lab. I've literally just followed what is there. If all done, let's move to the exciting stuff. Move 1, 2, and yes, sorry. How do you get the URL? So you just go here, web preview, and preview. Yes. Oh, OK. Working. OK, cool. Let's get to the actual stuff we are here for. So what we want to do is we want to get the Gemini API key. So the first thing you would do is go to your Google AI Studio and click on Get API Key. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to disconnect my screen so that you do not see my API key. And I'm going to copy and paste that API key like this in here in my .env file. OK? And then you can close your .env file. So I'll just quickly disconnect. OK, everybody got the API key? done, copied into the .env file. One more thing I would encourage you to do is, when you see your AI Studio and when you're creating that key, on the right side, you would see it automatically has like a free tier thing. What you want to do is, you might want to connect it to the credits that you have got, so that you can actually call it multiple times. Otherwise, it will give you like a 429 or some rate limiting error, basically. So this is something that I cannot show you. You'll have to do yourself. Go to AI Studio, where you are getting your API key. On that thing, you would see it as free trial thing, or connect billing account. Click on that. It will take you to Cloud Console and connect a project or the billing account. It's pretty easy and intuitive, very straightforward. Let me know once you have done that. Any issues, anybody? All good? No answer is a good answer. I'll continue. OK, so what we want to do is, you want to import the Google Gen AI package. And let's do that. So going back to my application, I'll add that import statement here. The next thing I would do is, I will initialize the Gemini API client. Now, what we are doing here is, basically, it uses your API key and initializes your client. And then you can use your client to start a chat. So that's what we are going to do. So just copy pasting some things, nothing too complicated. And then we will create another endpoint. Right below this one. And let's try to understand what's happening. So we have the prompt, which is latest tech news in last 24 hours. We basically initialize the chat with the model and the tools. So we have initialized the Gemini API client with the API key above, Gemini AI, it's your client. And we want to start a chat. And then when we are starting that chat or creating that chat, that's where we are passing it the model. And the config basically has all the tools. Here is where you would specify, if you are retrieving, then you would specify a retrieval tool. Example, you are retrieving it from a database. Then you will specify a retrieval tool. The URL context, that's where you will specify your URL context. If you want to use function calling, that's where you would specify your function declaration. So in this tools is where you specify all the tools. And right now you see that it is empty, but if you look at the documentation, I don't know if I can directly go from here. No, it doesn't let me. But if you find the documentation, you will find a couple more settings you can have in your Google search configuration as well. For example, you can adjust something called as dynamic threshold. So those are the values where you tell it what level of search do you want it to do. You can adjust those levels, and you can find all these configuration and all the documentation on the package itself. Like if you read through it, it's very, very straightforward. And then we are also passing that same system instruction here. Next, we would just send it a message with the prompt. Everybody clear what's happening? Can I get a thumbs up? Oh, yay, it's easy. I told you it's easy. All right, so let's get back to the terminal. And it's crashed, expected, and install the Gen AI package. while it's doing that, I'll copy npm run dev and do that. And once it is running, again, go to the preview, and here, remove that query parameter auth user equal to 0. Instead, have your path parameter as news. And once you do that, you will get a good summary of all the latest news, tech news. Yeah, it's very pretty, isn't it? Everybody got to this? Everybody until this stage? Everybody completed this? Anyone has any issues? Cool. You guys are very smart. That's good. OK, so your API is basically ready. It's all done. It's ready. Now, time to deploy it. Now, we are going to deploy it super easy way by using Google Cloud Run. All right? Now, before we do that, we need to enable the APIs. Now, with Google or GCP products, if you want to use something, you need to enable the APIs for it. So if you're using Vertex, you need to enable the Vertex AI API, ability to use those functionalities in a way. So if you have not used Cloud Run before or deployed anything there, you might have to run this in your terminal. I have done it, so I don't have to do it. And sometimes, if you get any authentication errors, you might have to do a login. And if you're well past that, I mean, if you've got it all sorted, then you can run gcloud run deploy with me. So I will go here, stop it from running, and straight away run Google Cloud Run Deploy. Now it says source code location, news curator, yes. Service name, news curator, yes. OK, now it gives you a list of regions. So for any new products, I have observed better to use US Central 1 for any new stuff, because I don't know why it doesn't work for us, our local Australian regions. It's really bad, but anyway. So I'm going to use region 34, which is US Central 1. And it's deploying. Now, I want you to notice that we did not create a Docker file. We don't have to, because with Cloud Run, it actually can basically create an image with your code and create like a build pack, and then deploy it on a container. So it's basically building and deploying. So it basically created the image with it, and now it's doing it on the container. And people who have not done this before, they might get a question, allow unauthenticated access. Allow unauthenticated access just for today, not for your production apps. So let's allow that for now. Click a Y. I mean, type in a Y. Everybody here with me?
Sorry, you need to type in gcloud config set run region?
Oh, no, we don't have to. I mean, we can. It is just to make a default region, create, like, always deploy in that region. I don't want to make it a default region for now. I should, actually. Good point. Everybody here with me? Anybody has any questions or issues? Is it asking you?
Anything wrong. So there's the authentication term copied and then index. Yes, my thing's not running.
Can you open the terminal? It's running.
Yeah, no, but
No,
when I run in local.
Okay, you've got an enter after the Gemini key. Maybe just remove that, or just copy the code from the GitHub repo. I've seen that happening before. Yeah. Okay. All right, it's deployed. So it has given me the service URL. It's time to test it. So closing my local one, and then okay, hello world, and news. Come on, don't fail me. Yay, it's working. Okay, everybody got the API working? Everyone with me? No?
It says I don't have a project, like, my project is not set, but I don't know where to get the project ID from.
Okay, so you go here, select a project,
Right.
and yeah, just choose one where you've got the credits. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, okay. So if you're still waiting on it to get deployed, I will quickly share something with you. So you can actually use the same package for running it using Vertex AI SDK. And you know how you did for Gemini API by providing Gemini API key? You would just provided the API key. If you want to use Vertex AI, all you have to do is initialize that bit. That's it. So you just provide, you just give it like Vertex AI. You create like a Vertex AI client instead of Gemini API client, provide a project ID and a location, and it would work exactly the same way. That's how easy it is to use it with Gen AI package. While on the other hand, if you were using like Gemini package or Vertex AI package, you had to do a bit more of initialization. So it was a bit more complicated before, but has become quite easier now. Anyway, so we have our app working, which is good news. So it's time we send it to our email. So now I would want you to go to your Cloud Console, close this, and search for application integration. Now, with application integrations, you can basically create basically like workflows without writing any code. It's super easy. Anybody can automate like a lot of anything, a lot of things you can do. So I'm going to give it a name as TLDR, and following the lab, I'll just copy the description. And create. Now this is the this is like the canvas where you can actually create that integration. So you can basically have triggers. Triggers are something that will invoke your flow or run your flow. And then you have tasks after you have triggered it. So the first thing you do is you basically create a trigger. And I am going to create an API trigger. I want to call it every time I go to that. I mean, I just want it to be called on the go, right? So let me get an API trigger. And then the next thing I want to do is I want to go to tasks, and I want to be able to call my API. And my API is like a REST endpoint. So that's my task. And I will connect them. Now, which REST endpoint am I calling? So I can use the service account. So no pressure there. And I am calling my news app that I got when I deployed on Cloud Run, that URL. And just going to put it here. HTTP method get is fine. I don't think I need anything in there anymore. The next thing I want to do is send an email. So let's search for the task of sending an email. And I will connect it with this one. Now, in the send email task, let's actually configure settings. So recipient, let me open a fake email thingy. It will generate like a temporary email for me. OK, I have got an email. I'm going to send it to that email subject. Let's copy. I haven't got any good subject. And what I want to do in the body is I want to use a variable. And which variable you say? So when I choose a variable, I click in the field, I should be able to get response body. So anything that I'm getting returned from my previous API endpoint, which is my new summary, that is what I want to send it to myself. Easy. And I think we are done. So quickly test this. It used to be quicker without thinking. Have I got an email? Oh, yes, I have got an email. Ta-da! It's working. Everybody got it working? OK. OK, if you're getting authentication errors in setting the API key in your code, maybe go back to the lab. Go to the GitHub repo, latest code for this lab. Just go to the code, index.js, and copy it. Just copy it as it is. It should work 100%.
So it's not the API key for
No, yeah, maybe we missed a step or something. I know it's still like developing space. I don't get very good errors, really. That's true.
Maybe you can try that.
Yeah, maybe just copy paste it. If you're still getting an error, raise your hand and I will come to you.
Curated index.js, sorry.
Yeah, just go to the, sorry? The main branch, just the main branch, straight away the main branch. Just copy everything from the main branch. It works in my local. You received an email? Yay! You can go home. Those who won't, they can't. Is it working? Not working? What's your error? Raise your hand. Okay, everybody getting the emails now? Well, if you're getting emails, it's good, right? But we missed one step. It's not getting scheduled. It's not coming on a schedule. So what you need to do is, this is like a homework. So what you need to do is go back to your trigger. Instead of API trigger, use a schedule trigger and schedule it. So it would send you an email at a certain time. Now, what you want to be mindful of, though, is that all the time settings are like GMT 8, which is like America or LA time zone. So you might want to do a conversion yourself or get Gemini to do it for you. And when you do that, you'll get it every day at a certain time.
Right now, the web page doesn't have any authentication, so anyone can call the service, right?
Yes, that's true.
If it has authentication, how this will call with that authentication?
With authentication,
Yeah, because now I have to send email, but I need authentication, right? Otherwise, everyone can call my service.
yes, that's true. But what you have to do, I think, in that scenario is you need to add authentication at your API level. So when you're deploying, probably add there, and then I don't think you need here because it's going to be like you are going to be controlling this bit, right? Like the integration, if I'm able to understand your question correctly.
Yeah, what if I had an authentication on my website so that no one can access, only I can access, right?
Oh, yes.
And
And
then
then
integration will work with authentication.
no, and I think then you will have to do a couple bit more steps here at this point. You'll have to create or just update the service account to be able to call it. Yeah. Okay, if everybody is getting an email, it's time to wrap up. These are the resources I used, and let's connect on LinkedIn. Okay, done.
Do we have to have a question? Just some quick, yeah.
One or two questions.
Does anyone have any questions? Just limiting to one or two. Make it good if you have one. There is swag stickers. There's someone over there. Actually, I'll bring my mic over. Oh, yeah, that would have been good. It's okay. Here you go.
Hi, a great demo. I just curious how much do the emails cost, or like those API calls in the integrator?
I think the Gemini API has like a free tier. So if you have crossed the tier, then it starts charging you. I'm not sure how much. I haven't looked at it. Been lazy enough. And then I think again, Cloud Run is obviously free. Again, free tier. And then I think the integrations, they cost you a bit. Yeah.
For example, like using a custom domain or something like that to send their emails from. Not sure if it's covered, but.
I haven't used any custom domain really. I mean, I don't think it matters. You just need like a recipient. I don't think it matters if you're using a custom domain there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Thank you.
No worries. Any other questions?
One more. Anyone? Oh,
Yes.
Over here.
Is the Google AI Studio like free to use for? Okay.
Yes,
And
it's
what's
free,
the
free,
difference
free.
between that and like just normal, I don't know, Gemini or something?
You have more controls to play around. And I don't know, I did not show you that, but if you see, there would be something with build apps and call, I think there are more options. So you can actually build like literally applications. And there are already applications that are already built by Gemini, like vibe coding. So yeah, do it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
All right, we'll wrap it up there. Thank you, Lovee. And this is for